Moses stands as a towering figure. He is a giant in the landscapes of history, religion, and myth. He is claimed by Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. This is the story of the man who spoke to God. This is about the leader who challenged Pharaoh. This is about the prophet who delivered his people from slavery. He is a figure eternally etched in the collective memory of humanity. But how did a man achieve such a status? What events shaped his life and legacy? And why, after his death, did even the angels contend for his earthly shell? Moses' tale is one of extraordinary transformation. He was born a Hebrew in Egypt. He was raised in the Pharaoh's palace. He was destined for power, yet he abandoned this privileged life. He chose instead to stand with his people. They were enslaved and suffering. He led them on a daring exodus. They fled the might of Egypt. This journey was fraught with danger and uncertainty. It culminated in a miraculous escape through the Red Sea. Moses' life was a testament to faith. He received the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. This divine law would become the bedrock of morality. It set a new standard for righteousness. His leadership was not without its trials. He faced doubt and rebellion among his followers. Yet he persevered. He remained steadfast in his covenant with God. This is the story of Moses. It is a story of courage and conviction. It is a story of divine intervention and human struggle. It is a story that continues to resonate thousands of years later. And it's a story that perhaps holds deeper meaning than many realize. Moses' life was a tapestry woven from diverse threads. He was born into slavery. However, he was raised in the lap of luxury. This gave him a unique perspective. He saw the plight of his people. He also understood the workings of power. This duality shaped his destiny. He was chosen by God. He became the liberator of the Israelites. His early years were spent in the Pharaoh's court. He was raised as a prince. He received the finest education. He was exposed to the intricacies of Egyptian governance. Yet he never forgot his Hebrew roots. He always felt the pain of his people. This internal conflict came to a head in a fateful encounter. He witnessed an Egyptian overseer beating a Hebrew slave. He was consumed by rage. He killed the overseer. This act forced Moses to flee Egypt. He became a shepherd in the land of Midian. It was here, in the silence of the desert, that he received his divine calling. God appeared to him in the form of a burning bush. He commanded Moses to return to Egypt. He was to free the Israelites from bondage. Filled with a newfound purpose, Moses returned to Egypt. He confronted the Pharaoh. He demanded the release of his people. His transformation was complete. He was no longer the hesitant prince. He was now the defiant prophet. He stood before the might of Egypt. He was armed with nothing but his faith in God. His courage would change the course of history. This is just the beginning of the story. It leads to a celestial battle that is rarely discussed. The book of Jude, tucked away in the New Testament, offers a curious detail. It speaks of a dispute between the archangel Michael and Satan. The prize of this conflict was the body of Moses. This brief passage raises more questions than it answers. What sparked this celestial battle? Why was Moses' body so important? And what does this tell us about the nature of these spiritual beings? The text provides few clues. It merely states that Satan disputed about the body of Moses. Some scholars believe this refers to a Jewish tradition. This tradition claims that Satan tried to prevent Moses' burial. Why would Satan do such a thing? One interpretation suggests that Satan, the great accuser, saw hypocrisy in Moses. After all, Moses was responsible for the death of an Egyptian. He himself was denied entry into the promised land because of a sin. Others interpret this struggle more symbolically. Moses, in this reading, represents the Jewish law. Satan, always opposed to God's will, sought to corrupt or destroy this law. Michael, the protector of Israel, fought to preserve it. This struggle reflects the broader tension between good and evil, law and chaos, that plays out through history. Whatever the interpretation, the story highlights a key point. Even in death, Moses was a figure of immense spiritual significance. His body became a battleground for cosmic forces. This event underscores the profound impact of his life and legacy. It's a mystery that continues to fascinate and puzzle theologians and historians alike. Section 4. Why Moses? The significance of a body. Why would a body, even one belonging to a prophet, be the center of a cosmic feud? The answer likely lies in the multifaceted symbolism attached to Moses. He was more than just a prophet. He was a lawgiver, a leader, and a bridge between the divine and the human. His physical form, even in death, held profound significance. For one, Moses' body represented the Israelites' journey to freedom. It was a tangible link to their exodus from Egypt, a reminder of God's power and faithfulness. To desecrate his remains would be to strike at the heart of their faith, to invalidate their suffering and triumph. Satan, always seeking to undermine God's work, may have sought to exploit this vulnerability. Secondly, Moses' body, imbued with the power of his 40-day communion with God on Mount Sinai, could have been seen as a source of immense spiritual energy. Perhaps Satan, ever hungry for power, sought to corrupt or steal this energy for his own nefarious purposes. Michael, tasked with protecting the sanctity of God's chosen people, would naturally oppose such an attempt. Lastly, there's the matter of Moses' burial place. According to Jewish tradition, Moses was buried by God himself in an unknown location. This secrecy was intended to prevent idolatry. Satan, knowing the human propensity for worshiping the tangible, might have sought to expose Moses' tomb, leading people astray. Section 5. An enduring legacy, Moses in history and faith. The story of Moses, even with its enigmatic elements, continues to resonate with people of diverse backgrounds. He was a man of contradictions. A Hebrew raised as an Egyptian, a prince turned shepherd, a reluctant leader thrust into a role he never sought. Yet it was in these contradictions that his humanity shone through. He was flawed, capable of doubt and anger, yet he persevered, driven by faith and a profound sense of justice. His legacy extends far beyond the pages of Scripture. He gave us the Ten Commandments, a moral code that has shaped legal systems and ethical frameworks for millennia. He embodied the fight against oppression, inspiring countless others to stand up for what's right, regardless of the odds. He serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can bloom and liberation is possible. The celestial battle over his body, though shrouded in mystery, adds another layer to his enduring story. It speaks to the ongoing struggle between good and evil, the spiritual significance of physical objects, and the enduring power of faith. It reminds us that even the most mundane aspects of our existence can become battlegrounds for cosmic forces. In the end, the story of Moses is a story of us, our struggles, our triumphs, and our eternal search for meaning in a world often shrouded in darkness. It's a story that continues to challenge, inspire, and provoke thoughtful reflection.
Don't forget to explore the supplementary content available in the video description. They can provide additional insights and resources to support your journey. Subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up to keep receiving valuable content that can transform lives. Together, we can build a community of support and encouragement. That's all for today. Wishing you a wonderful day full of possibilities. Until the next video.